Hello, if you're new to my channel, I am Jamie Glowacki. I am the author of Oh Crap Potty Training and Oh Crap I Have a Toddler, and I teach parents how to potty train and parent using connection and curiosity instead of coercion and compliance. So today, I don't know if you've noticed, but I have a new background. So I finally, I didn't get an office. I don't really warrant a whole office, a full-time office, but I found a co-working space. And so they have all these different meeting rooms and it's really cool. So I can go here and get some peace and quiet. If you've listened to my podcast or my Instagram reels or my YouTube videos, you'll often hear roosters in the background or dogs barking. My dog. And sometimes the roosters create a scene and the dog goes crazy and it's nuts. So I figured out that this was driving me crazy. And the reason I'm doing a video about this is because I want you to find the friction points in your life, because this was a high friction point in my life, but I almost didn't know it. Like, I love being able to work from home, but with the animals and my son, who's 18, and he's wonderful, very capable kid. However, his executive functioning is like online, offline, online, offline. I know I've gone away for days at a time and he's been fine. But when I'm in the room, he's like the least capable kid, right? As all our kids. So I needed a space to get out of the house. And like a couple weeks ago, I lost my shit because I was like, oh my God, I'm going to lose it. This wouldn't be happening if I went to work. And like this light bulb went off in my head. And I was like, oh, if I went to work, I need to go to work. But I was like, well, I can't really justify a full-time office space. And a friend said, hey, have you checked out co-working spaces? This lifted 1,000 pounds off my chest. Like, I didn't even know it was a friction point. And the reason I'm bringing this up is because when I work with parents, there are always friction points. I tend to call them hot spots. So what are the hot spots in your day? Because number one, you have to identify, when are you getting the most strung out? When are you getting the most aggravated, right? These are important things, because when we get strung out and aggravated, we are not able to stay calm and co-regulate when our kids lose their shit, right? And this happens. Kids are going to lose it because they're kids, especially if you're dealing with toddlers. That's just a ticking time bomb, right? You never know when it's going to happen. So it's our job to stay calm and regulated all the time, but we can't do that if we're constantly stressed out, if we're constantly in these hot spots and these friction points where it's like, oh, this is the point that it happens. I can guarantee that if you are yelling, if you are losing it on your kid, if you are trying like gentle parenting, explosive parenting, if that is happening, there are friction points in your life that happen way before your child does something that makes you lose it, okay? And one thing I'm seeing in my work is more and more people are coming to me like, my kid's behavior sucks, like, fix it please, help me fix it. But it's never them. Kids are being kids. And yes, some kids, maybe your kid has high needs. Some kids are going to be extraordinarily difficult just by nature, but they're still being them. And they don't have the capacity to always change their behavior. And what we have to look at is that it's all the events. When your kid loses it or your kid triggers you, there have been so many events leading up to that. And so whenever I hear somebody say, my kid triggers me, or it makes me crazy when my kid does that, that's a you problem. That's not your kid's problem. It's a you problem. You got to figure out what's going on that makes you lose it, and how can you stay calm and regulated. So for me, in this example, I didn't realize it was taking me 8 hours to do my work to do 2 hours worth of work. Like recording Instagram reels, recording YouTube videos, because I was working around a child who just acted a little needier, a dog always barking, and God forbid Amazon shows up, and roosters that I can't control. And I think the beautiful thing about my situation was the large majority of this was the dog and the roosters. They are being them. I can't change them. I cannot make my dog not bark. I cannot make a rooster not crow. So I was kind of stuck in this position, right? Like, I can't change them. I have to change me. And so I think it's a beautiful example because we think we can change another person, but this was like, no, I can't do anything about this. So I bring it up again because if you can find these friction points, you can alleviate so much of your stress, anxiety, and rage. Parental rage is a real thing. Like, I know you know it. We get to a boiling point and then we're like, right? And we want to prevent that. And the way we prevent that is finding the hot spots, finding the friction points, and figuring out solutions for those. And a large amount of people, the friction points are like getting out of the house in the morning, or when the kids come home from school, or dinner time, right? And I have a whole bunch of podcasts and videos about that. But when you find it, you can figure out a solution, and the solution may not look like anybody else's. It might be unique to your family, and that's okay. But find the friction point so that you can stay calm and regulated. That's the biggest thing. Anytime somebody makes any sort of mistake, and I'm working with potty training parents and just parenting in general, and they're like, I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to do that. I don't have time to do that. We have to make the time, and we have to figure out where it is that we're losing it. All right, that's all I got for you today. If you guys like this video, please share it, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment. I'd love to hear from you. And as always, have a beautiful day and rock on.